What affiliates exactly are they talking about? Are they meaning people are actually listening to the show? Is that our affiliates? I don't know. Anyway, we're here. Oh, I'm sorry. I got camera problems, so I keep moving this back to its normal position, which is probably not good. But I don't think you can see me yet anyway, and that's probably even better. Uh, anyway, it's October the 11th, and welcome to the Educated Retirement Radio here on KMET 1490 AM, where we contemplate retirement and how to best prepare for retirement and how to best stay happily retired. So today we're going to speak with Dustin of Retirement 101. And this is our first class. When this team, that is Retirement 101, puts on their class, which they do all over Southern California, they are 2 sessions. So we're going to have one session today, and we're going to have another session in about 2 weeks. So get ready to learn. So as long as we're ready, we are going to release the Kraken. But first, I need to get a prescription out to you, as you well know. Okay. Whoops, wrong camera. Boy, I would never make it much as a director, even though I always wanted to be one. I can see all you need is this small prescription for some information on the HECM, H-E-C-M, Home Equity Conversion Program. So we'll take care of that, and I will let you know that today we will, like I said, we're going to release the Kraken. And write this number down, 866-955-2233, 866-955-2233. My off-air number, please call, email, or visit drheckham.com, or you can even go to theeducatedretirement.com, because you are being educated, I hope, on the retirement. Right now, my day job, I know, thank God he's got one. I am a loan officer, my NMLS, National Mortgage Licensing System, 384465, and I am licensed with the Department of Real Estate because that's how I do loans through the NMLS. Do not sell real estate, but I've got so many contacts, so wherever you are, call me if you need any information, not just on selling it, but information about your home, things like that. Give me a call. Anyway, that number is 792-630. So, as I said before, let me get lined up here for it. There you go. Boy, it kind of reminds me all of a sudden of the face hugger of Alien. By the way, I'm going to go see Alien in the theater with my son next Tuesday. Last Tuesday, we saw Psycho on the big screen, and that was great. I mean, most people don't realize I'm too young to have seen it really in the movies the right way, but so be it. Anyway, not face hugger, but International Kraken Day. Okay, Kraken is, well, there goes mine. Closest thing would be an octopus. So they're really talking about an octopus when we talk about this day, because it's part of the International Cephalopod Week. So technically, these guys, octopus, they do not have tentacles. They have arms. Tentacles, excuse me here. Tentacles are for squids, not for octopus. So now that we have that kind of education behind us, octopus also have very large brains. So I knew they were extremely smart. I think we all kind of know that. They get in and out of just about anywhere. But I was never sure if the size of a brain really matters as far as intelligence. I mean, bird brains, birds are not stupid. Most of them are really smart, and even crows can pass memory on to their offspring. That's a pretty good subject, and it's like a whole nother subject, actually. So let me do a little waving here on Facebook. They also have 3 hearts, and Spock only had 2. Now, I know this is a little different than financial discussion, but when they have 3 hearts, does that mean like each heart has a chamber? So it'd be like a 3-chambered heart? So like separate components instead of our more advanced all-in-one 4-chamber heart? If it's anything like those old, where you put the videotapes in and it was connected to the television, one thing goes bad, anyway, it's a whole different thing. So speaking of releasing the Kraken, so this I think is really, really cool. The first Kraken in a film, motion picture, was a real octopus in a bathtub attacking a toy ship. That was the 1906 film Under the Seas from Georges Méliès. Now, I got to get into my toy box here a second here. Hold on. And anyway, I think this is what I was looking for. Here is Beneath. It came from beneath the sea, where Ray Harryhausen took care of some things in a different kind of way. So with that, I'm going to give it back. Whoops, there we go. To the Kraken, and we're going to take a little break. See you after the break. Well, you may not need a pillow top when you got a Kraken running after you. But welcome back to the Educated Retirement Radio here on your home planet, 1490 KMET AM radio. The mighty Met. And it's so mighty, I'm out of breath. Remember, theeducatedretirement.com or Dr. Heckham, HECM, just DRHECM. Call me, 866-955-2233 to discuss ideas, or just email me at bestaloantoday@gmail.com. And when you're on the site, remember to look at the YouTube channel. It's got all these, give me a couple days and then they all get up there. The podcasts are up there pretty quick. And of course, everything's on the KMET website. Anyway, famous birthdays. Not mine. Jerome Robbins. Now I got to look in my toy boxes here, so it's all, I got junk all over the place. I almost said a bad word. Anyway, Jerome Robbins was the choreographer for such wonderful things as West Side Story. And yeah, I'm still showing you these the video discs, the big ones from the old. They still work fine. The sound sometimes is better than the new ones. So there. Anyway, now Spielberg is making a new one, and you're going to ask why, just like I did. Well, I have one of my clients who plays timpani in several orchestras told me the reason is the stage play. And again, I am much too young to remember this, so don't. The stage play was different than the movie, so now they're going to go back and do what the stage play actually was. Well, we'll see. Jerome also did On the Town, The King and I, Fiddler on the Roof, and guess who else has a birthday today? One of the most famous names on planet Earth. Michael J. Nelson was born in 1964. Now, he is one of the masterminds, not the first guy, but the mastermind of Mystery Science Theater 3000. Now, tell me, Sean, you know about that, right?
Of course I do.
Of course. Anybody with any culture, or Western culture anyway, I guess we'll put it, knows about Mystery Science Theater 3000. Now, it had an 11-year run when it first started back in was that late 80s or early 90s, but it was taken over by one of its writers in the fifth year, and that was Joel Hodgson was the first one. And I'm sorry, this was a creation of Joel Hodgson, Hodgson. And in the fifth year, Michael Nelson took over. So it has been reborn. It was reborn on Shout TV, and now it's a big hit on Netflix. I think they've got their third or their fourth, what do you call it, season of brand new ones with really a great crew on it. So my wife and I even went to see them in person over in Santa Ana at the Frida Theater. It was great. Today is also the birthday of Jacques Tati. Now that maybe somebody you haven't heard of. He was, believe it or not, before my time, kinda. He dropped in 1907, and he flipped off into the universe in 1982. So, when I was younger, I wasn't into all those films. I don't think, some people call it slapstick, it's French, and some people say, well, whatever, but it was really, I love his stuff. You even don't have to turn on the subtitles, just make it silent and listen to the sound effects, and they're great. But Jacques Tati has been voted several times as one of the greatest 50 directors of all time, but one with the fewest films, only 6 films. My favorite, this one, My Uncle, amazing. You know what? Maybe this one's my favorite. This one is a black and white one done a little bit earlier. It's, I don't know, it's amazing. I really, I don't know. It's hard to say I identify with this guy so much, but I do. There's an earlier My Uncle Laserdisc. And here's one of his first, which I haven't seen in a long time, but I got to. And this maybe was one of his last, if not his last, playtime. Pretty sophisticated stuff, though, so it's pretty neat. You see old Paris, where most of his stuff happens, but every time there's a window, maybe not every time, or a door that opens or whatever that's glass, you see reflections of skyscrapers in Paris. So it has to do with changing times, which actually my uncle does also to a great degree. So on this day, the movie Laura popped out, and that was premiered in 1944. Now, that was Dana Andrews. That was a small bit for him, and he was in his towering masterpiece, which we saw last night because of Halloween stuff on TV, Night of the Demon, which I gotta admit is one of the strangest, weirdest, maybe not great at all, but it really is stupid. And I love stupid monsters. That's why I look at myself so much, is it? I don't know. Anyway, the music for Laura was David Raskin, who wrote some beautiful stuff. He wrote, other than Laura, The Bad and the Beautiful, and again, his towering masterpiece, the Ben Casey television show. And when it comes to Ben Casey, I know I've shown you this wonderful book before. Don't know whether it won the Nobel Prize. I'm sorry. They do those, whatever those are. I might think of it here in a minute. But a prize is a prize. When it comes to music, though, I know I've shown this before. I meant Pulitzer. Anyway, here is, look at that. Okay. If that ain't an emotional thing, I don't know what is. So, Saturday Night Live was also premiered on this date. And do you know who the first host of Saturday Night Live was? Sean, do you know? I did not.
I'm going to guess George Carlin.
You just won the contest. But unfortunately, we don't have any prizes for that one. But you did show off that you're a lot smarter than me, not necessarily smarter than a crow or a octopus, but definitely a lot more ahead of me. So with that note, let's take a break and let Sean take it away because he's smarter than I am, and we'll be back in a bit.
Sound online at KMET1490am.com.
Yes, and check me out online too. As long as you got the line up. You know where to go. www.drheckham.com, and you know all the other stuff. So I'm just going to get going. We want a little more time with Dustin, but since I want to keep my marriage together and this is what my wife puts together for me, we're going to finish this. And we have so much fun doing it. But remember, it was the birthday of Musso and Frank Restaurant not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I did so much yapping, which I usually do. We never got to it. So I'm going to get it out right now. Opened in 1999, and its moniker was meant to feed the hunger of the film industry. And it's home of the perfect martini and pot pie. I'll go for the martini. Sean, you can go for the pot pie if you'd rather. I think we'll both take a beer instead, right?
Yeah, I'll have a beer.
All right. Decor is new. Have you ever been in there?
I have not, no.
Oh, well, it's coming up. I mean, somebody as cultured as yourself that knows all about Mystery Science Theater 3000's got to do this. So the decor there is new, and it's considered to represent 1955, and even has a Walk of Fame. The only restaurant I know of with a star on the Walk of Fame. It was a favorite haunt for Orson Welles and so many others. And the bartender, Ruben Rueda, threw out Steve McQueen, and he also got a guitar from Keith Richards. So Ruben Rueda, served the best martinis in town for 52 years and 86 more celebrities than any other bartender in town. So I know when I was, in the times I've been in there, I saw William Conrad, and he was, he had a like a cannon type trench coat on, so that was perfect. Also saw James Caan having a good time with a big group. So, which reminds me, my wife were in New York City, and on one day near Central Park, we got autographs from James Caan, Aretha Franklin, and Gregory Hines. And they have 2 dining rooms in there, but we're going to talk about that. I'll get back to that, and I'll relate that to a story about finance. But thank you so much. Thank you, Sean. Thanks to all the people listening. And Kaplan will be here on the same corner in front of the cigar store next week. Take care.